Dear God, we seek blessings on the tasks before us. Bless our efforts with clear insight, our deliberations with wisdom, our work with clarity and accuracy, and our decisions with impartiality. We pray this in your name. Amen.
Testing.
Clerk Golick, roll call.
Markovich.
Here.
Wow. Spitali. Here. Venez.
Here.
Kowinski.
Here.
Ulaki.
Here.
Higgs.
Here.
Emerson.
Here.
Henosa. Opinker.
Here. Moving on to reading of minutes.
President,
Councilman Spitali.
a motion to accept the minutes from September 28, 2015.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Spitali, second by Councilman Emerson to accept the minutes from last meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Minutes pass. Moving on to approval of claims.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Markovich.
move for approval of claims September 23rd to October 7th, 2015, for council meeting October 13, 2015. Beginning with claims dated 10/6/15 and ending with claims dated 10/7/15, claim number 5362 through claim 5629 for a total of $3,235,244.48. I so move.
Second. Motion by Councilman Markovich, second by Councilman Higgs on the acceptance of the claims. Is there any discussion? Any discussions on acceptance of the claims? Clerk Golick, roll call vote.
Markovich.
Yes.
Spitali.
Yes.
Venez.
Yes.
Kowinski.
Yes.
Ulaki.
Yes.
Higgs.
Yes.
Emerson.
Yes.
Henosa. Opinker.
Yes. Claims pass 8-0, one absent. Moving on to public hearing, there is none. Next will be communications. Do we have any communications? Hearing none, seeing none, communications is now closed. Moving on to committee reports.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Venez.
Council as a whole will be bringing out 1533, 1534. Finance will bring out 1535. Council as a whole, 1536, 1537.
Any other committee reports?
Yes, Mr. President.
Councilwoman Venez.
At this time, as I usually do, I'd like to announce the upcoming Community and Crime Watch meetings. On Monday, October 19th, Columbia Crime Watch will meet at Columbia School beginning at 5:30 p.m. The East Hammond Pullman Crime Watch will meet Tuesday, October 20th, 6:30 p.m. at the Ophelia Steen Center. The Hessville Crime Watch will meet Thursday, October 15th at the Jean Shepherd Center at 7 p.m. The Indiana Crime Watch, this is one that only meets twice a year. It will be at the First Methodist Church at 6635 Homan Avenue. That will begin at 6:30, and if I didn't say, that's Thursday, October 15th. The Lafayette Neighborhood Watch will meet Wednesday, October 21st at Lafayette School, beginning at 6:30. And the South Hammond Crime Watch will meet Thursday, October 15th at the Hammond Housing Authority building at 7 p.m. I would also like to announce that Edison Community Watch and the Eastside Community Council will once again be partnering with Home Depot to host Trunk or Treat on Halloween from 6 to 7:30 p.m. It's a controlled, safe environment for our children. Last year we saw over 500 children along with their parents. So if there are any groups or organizations that are interested in participating, you can contact me. It's a great event. So that is how change happens. One person, one gesture, one moment at a time. Thank you very much.
Any other committee reports? Committee reports is now closed. Moving on to ordinance, third and final reading.
Ordinance 15-33, the 2016 budget proposal for the city of Hammond, sponsored by Councilwoman Venez.
Yes, Mr. President.
Councilwoman Venez.
I move for final passage of 1533.
It's a motion by Councilwoman Venez, second by Councilman Spitali for final passage of 1533. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Venez.
there is an amendment on page 21 in the budget that we received. It was labeled in the original packet, data processing. It should be judicial services. I so move.
It's a motion by Councilwoman Venez, second by Councilman Kowinski to amend 1533. Is there any discussion on the amendment?
You want to substitute the new page too, besides just the title, don't you?
The new page is also labeled 21.
Right, you want to substitute that for the old,
Okay, so, Mr. President, my motion would be to substitute the original page that had data processing on it and substitute it with the new page 21 with judicial services.
That's correct. That's a motion by Councilwoman Venez, second by Councilman Kowinski. Is there any discussion on that amendment?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Markovich.
is there still, and probably Heather can answer, is there another page then for data processing department then, other than page 21 like it was?
That is, there was actually two in the original packet. It's page 11.
Okay, thank you.
See that? Okay.
Any other discussion on the amendment? Clerk Golick, roll call vote on 1533 as amended.
Markovich.
Yes.
Spitali.
Yes.
Venez.
Yes.
Kowinski.
Yes.
Ulaki.
Yes.
Higgs.
Yes.
Emerson.
Yes.
Hanosa. Opinker.
Yes, 1533 as amended passes 8-0, one absent. Now 1533 as written. Clerk Golick, roll call vote.
Markovich.
Yes.
Spitali. Venez.
Yes.
Kowinski.
Yes.
Ulaki.
Yes.
Higgs.
Yes.
Emerson.
Yes.
Hanosa. Opinker.
Yes, 1533 passes 8-0, one absent.
Ordinance 15-34, sponsored by Councilman Opinker. An ordinance fixing the salaries and wages of all city officials and employees of the city of Hammond, other than those fixed by statute or by ordinance heretofore enacted, and fixing the effective date thereof.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Venez.
I move for final passage of 1534.
Motion by Councilwoman Venez, second by Councilman Spitali for final passage of 1534. Is there any discussion? Clerk Golick, roll call vote on 1534.
Markovich. Spitali. Venez.
Yes.
Kowinski.
Yes.
Ulaki.
Yes.
Higgs.
Yes.
Emerson.
Yes.
Hanosa. Opinker.
Yes, 1534 passes 8-0, one absent.
Ordinance 15-35, sponsored by Councilwoman Venez. An ordinance fixing the salaries and wages of all policemen and firemen in the city of Hammond, other than those fixed by statute or by ordinance heretofore enacted, and fixing the effective date thereof.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Venez.
I move for final passage of 1535.
It's a motion by Councilwoman Venez for final passage of 1535, second by Councilman Spitali. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Venez.
does it require an amendment for me to correct the residency bonus?
Yes, it does.
Already. I move to amend in section 7, the residency bonus it is listed at $1,800 annually. It should be $2,400 annually. I so move.
Motion by Councilwoman Venez. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Spitali to amend the residency bonus from $1,800 to $2,400. Is there any discussion? Any discussion on the amended version? Clerk Golick, roll call vote on the amended version.
Markovich. Spitali. Vines.
Yes.
Kalwinski.
Yes.
Ulaki.
Yes.
Higgs.
Yes.
Emerson.
Yes.
Enosa. Opinker.
Yes. The amended version passes 8-0, 1 absent. Now 1535 as written. Clerk Golick, roll call vote.
Markovich.
Yes.
Spitali. Vines.
Yes.
Kalwinski. Ulaki.
Yes.
Higgs.
Yes.
Emerson.
Yes.
Enosa. Opinker.
Yes. 1535 passes 8-0, 1 absent.
Ordinance 15-36, the 2016 budget proposal for the Hammond redevelopment sponsored by Councilwoman Venez.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Venez.
I move for final passage of 1536.
There's a motion by Councilwoman Venez for final passage of 1536, second by Councilman Spitali. Is there any discussion? Any discussion on 1536? Clerk Golick, roll call vote on 1536.
Markovich.
Yes.
Spitali. Venez.
Yes.
Kalwinski.
Yes.
Ulaki.
Yes.
Higgs.
Yes.
Emerson.
Yes.
Enosa. Opinker.
Yes, 1536 passes 8-0, 1 absent.
Ordinance 15-37, the 2016 budget proposal for the Sanitary District of Hammond, Sewer Maintenance Fund 608, Special Sanitary Debt Service Exempt Fund 308, and the Special Sanitary Debt Service Fund 309, sponsored by Councilman Markovich, Councilwoman Venez, Councilman Higgs, and Spitali.
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs.
I move for final passage of 15-37, I so move.
Motion by Councilman Higgs, second by Councilman Spitali for final passage of 1537. Is there any discussion? Any discussion on final passage of 1537? Clerk Golick, roll call vote.
Markovich.
Yes.
Spitali. Venez.
Yes.
Kalwinski.
Yes.
Ulaki.
Yes.
Higgs.
Yes.
Emerson.
Yes.
Enosa. Opinker.
Yes, 1537 passes 8-0, 1 absent.
President Opinker, that concludes the reading of the third reading for final passage on the ordinances.
Thank you, Clerk Golick. Moving on to introduction of ordinances.
Item A, ordinance 15-43, sponsored by Councilwoman Venez, an ordinance appropriating funds from local pretrial diversion and deferral fund within the Hammond City Court 2015 budget to fund part-time salaries.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Venez.
I move for first and second reading of 1543, refer to council as a whole, and I'm told we need a public hearing on November 9th.
Okay, there's a motion by Councilwoman Venez for first and second. Do I have a second? Second. Was that second on Councilman Kowinski? And we also need that was
Public hearing on November 9th.
public hearing on November 9th. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Vines.
this is for the transferring of funds, $60,000 from the local infraction deferral program to part-time salaries.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? First and second granted.
Item B, ordinance 15-44, sponsored by Councilwoman Vines. An ordinance amending ordinance 4326 and 8590 concerning retail establishments, retail services, or other establishments in the city of Hammond.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Vines.
I move for first and second reading of 1544.
It's a motion by Councilwoman Vines, second by Councilman Spitali for first and second reading on 1544. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Vines.
this ordinance is to update the classification of businesses in the city of Hammond. What is considered a business now in the city of Hammond will also include landlords.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, first and second?
Yes.
All those in favor of first and second on 1544, say aye. Aye. Opposed? First and second granted.
Item C, ordinance 15-45, sponsored by Councilwoman Vines. An ordinance creating a new section of Chapter 124 to require landlords who operate in Hammond to have a City of Hammond business license.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Vines.
I move for first and second reading of 1545 and refer to council as a whole.
There's a motion by Councilwoman Vines, second by Councilman Spitali for first and second reading and be placed in council as a whole. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Vines.
this ordinance will now require landlords to obtain a business license. It will be effective January 1st through December 31st of each year at a cost of $100.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of first and second, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? First and second granted.
President O'Baker, that concludes the introduction of ordinances.
Thank you, Clerk Golick. Moving on to resolutions, there are none. From there will be no unfinished business. Any new unfinished business?
Item A, BZA Z-1505, petition of 18th Street Brewery LLC for variance of use from zoning ordinance to allow distribution and food processing located at 5417 Oakley.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Vines.
I move to schedule an intent to consider at a special meeting Friday, October 16th at 6 p.m.
Motion by Councilwoman Vines, second by Councilman Spitali. Set a special meeting with notice of intent to consider October 16th, which is this Friday at 6 p.m. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Markovich.
is there anybody here from this 18th Street Brewery that's the owners or whatever can approach the council and tell us what's going on?
Good evening, Council. My name is Drew Fox. I am the owner and head brewer of 18th Street Brewery. Our intent at 5417 Oakley is to operate a production facility as well as a tasting room at the 5417 Oakley. location. We currently have a brewery and tap room, which we opened in 2013 in the city of Gary, Indiana. Our intent with the 5417 facility is to expand our distribution as well as to expand our growth and capacity. Right now, currently, we operate in a 5,000 square foot space. We've expanded in that space since 2013 4 times. Unfortunately, it has stifled some of our growth with having limitations as to our building. Currently, we don't own our space in Gary, so we sought after Hammond, as well as some of the other surrounding cities, to basically own our own production facility so we can continue our growth. Right now, 18th Street Brewery, so far this year, 2013, is on the path to produce 2,000 barrels of beer, which is about 31 U.S. gallons, which is a half barrel of beer. With this new production facility, over 2014 through 2017, that will help us expand our barrel capacity to 5,000 barrels. Right now, we distribute in the state of Indiana, as well as Iowa, and as well as Denmark. So the current facility has really outgrown at a pace which we've outgrown as well. So we're excited to really continue our path of growth, but also with that path of growth is continue to inject additional jobs, which we look forward to 6 to 8 jobs. And first rights would be working with Work One to inject Hammond residents as well. But this building at 5417 Oakley, it was a building that was, in this May, was kind of an eyesore. The structural integrity of the building and the inside is beautiful. It's a beautiful building. The facade needs a little bit of work, which we are addressing as we speak. But our goal is we really want to continue the path of growth, but also the economic and social development that breweries have brought to this state. Also, currently, the state of Indiana has produced in revenue in excess of $1 billion. We're the fastest growing state when it comes to craft breweries, as well as injecting another 800 to 1,000 jobs per city or per county. So we look forward to embracing the city of Hammond with the social and economic development that we have so far brought. And you know, we're excited about the project as well. I think it's going to be a great addition to the city of Hammond.
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs.
certainly I want to applaud your efforts in choosing Hammond as your new location, and hopefully that you will be successful in your endeavors in trying to make your company successful. And I am extremely excited and grateful to see an African American especially step up to the plate and have a business of such. So congratulations, and I wish you the best.
Thank you, Councilman Hicks.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Markovich.
Mr. Fox, you're aware of, you weren't in the discussion in there for the caucus, and they wanted us to do a lot of things tonight, which wasn't normally done, the process. So that's why they're calling this special meeting. They said that, our next meeting would have been the 26th, but they're calling a special meeting for Friday at 6 o'clock, because redevelopment claims that, you need to move, and you can't move any structures in there or start any work because you can't get the permits because you don't have this rezone classification. So that's what they told us, and I don't know if they explained that to you or anything. That's why I asked if there was anybody here that represents there, and I'm glad that you were here, to speak up. But hopefully, we're not trying to stymie you or anything else like that. And I'll be honest with you, they told us this has been going on for a year, and this is the first time we've met you or knew what was going on or anything.
Right. Originally, we had approached the city of Hammond right around January, February. And the one thing we pride ourselves on in our company is we don't take on any additional debt without knowing the additional growth of the business. We're a cash business. We've always been that way. And when we first looked at the project of Hammond, we wanted to go back and evaluate our balance sheet to make sure that we were in good standing, to make sure that we can fund this project without, going to a bank and pulling out additional funds, whereas we can inject those funds back into the structure, but also additional equipment that would in turn spur the job growth.
Now, this building is how many square feet?
This building is 32,000 square feet.
So is there enough there for you to expand in the future then if you need to?
Absolutely. We anticipate on securing the first floor, which will be 16,000 square feet, the first 3 years into growth. And the additional 16,000 square feet, we look to either, we'd love to inject some small manufacturing into those spaces or parcels, which we feel is really important to, again, more job creations. But as we grow, we hope we can continue to grow into those spaces as well.
Mr. President,
Councilman Higgs.
I guess my question would be, have you sought out the facade program through the city?
Yes, we have. We have worked with redevelopment. They have given us access to all the information to the facade program as well as abatement program. And me and my team have already addressed that and filed out formal application.
Well, certainly if there are some people, if you're looking for investors, I know quite a few millionaires that might be interested.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Thank you, sir, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, we have a first and second for the special meeting. We had our discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting granted for Friday, 6 o'clock. Any other new and unfinished business?
Mr. President,
Councilman Emerson.
I'd like to remind people that Hammond is having their second annual Veterans Day Appreciation Parade and Ceremony. Saturday, November 7th, parade steps off at Alcott and 173rd and will wind up at 10 a.m. You can begin to line up as early as you want to get there, and will conclude at Hessville Park at the memorial there for a short ceremony. So I encourage you, if you're a veteran, it'll bring back old times. You can march, maybe not in great unison as you used to do in the military, or if you just want to say thank you to the vets, to line the streets and show your appreciation. This is the time to do it. Thank you to Leanne Munoz and the whole committee that's been working now for a couple months to make this a success. So thank you very much.
Any other new and unfinished business? New and unfinished business is now closed. Open up for public expression, the only speaker of the evening.
There's some new people here, so you might want to say if they were coming here to talk, you might want to let them know that now's the time that they were supposed to sign if they want to address the city council.
Is there anybody that wants to address the city council that didn't sign this? Okay, our only speaker of the evening is Mr. George Stoll. Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Motion by Councilwoman Vanessa, second by Councilman Higgs. All those in favor? Meeting adjourned.